want to first of all welcome all my subscribers. Thank you so much, guys, for honoring my invitation. I am honored. All right, and if you're watching me for the very first time, please do subscribe, share, like, and comment. Let me know you are around. Now, what I'm going to do is I want to read a story. This is a real life story, guys. It's not something that is just a made up story. No, it's a real life story, something that happened in Pakistan. All right, something that happened in Pakistan. So I want to read out the story so that whatever I'm talking about, you will relate it to this real life story. You understand that it is the female education is very important. So what I would do is I would just do me a favor and be attentive. Just be attentive to what I'm going to read right now. Um, so that at the end of the day we are going to discuss and better understand this topic. Okay, so I have it here on my laptop. I'm not going to be looking at you, so I'll just concentrate on my laptop and read. Please just give me your ears, and be attentive.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Akon on the board. This channel is all about educational stuffs. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and state a comment at the comment section. Hit on that subscribe button, hit on that like button, and open that comment section and comment. Thank you.
This is like I said, this is a story, something that happened in Pakistan. It's a real life story. I don't know if you have heard of Malala before, but if you haven't heard of Malala before, what she did as far as female education is concerned, then I believe in this video you're going to learn about Malala and what she did. Okay, so let me read out the story so that you can better understand. So now this is the story. So the story I am about to discuss is about a girl who stood up for education but was shot. Now I want to just give brief headline about this story and just define a word I will be using so that you can better understand when I'm using it. So this story about Malala is just about a young lady that fought for female education in Pakistan. The area where she's from, or the area where all these things were going on, is known as Swat. So Swat is in Pakistan. So Malala fought for female education. Like we have the Taliban. The Taliban is a group of brutal young men that decided that whatever they would do would be to their own interest. Decided to close down female schools and left only the male schools. So they decided that females will not be going to school. No school for the girls, only for the boys. So they shut down all the schools that belongs to the female and left only those that belongs to the male. So the Taliban were just doing these things for their own interest. All right, they were doing these things for their own interest. So the government was not in support of this. Okay, so they were actually in conflict with the government. The government was not in support of what the Taliban, which are a group of brutal young men that carried out activities just in their favor, or they just did what pleased them, not in favor of the society or the youth of that society or Pakistan, because this thing actually happened in Swat, Pakistan. All right, so let me read out the story so you can better understand. Okay, so this is a story. The story I'm about to discuss is about a girl who stood up for education but was shot. I am Malala, the girl who stood up for education but was shot by the Taliban. Okay, so this is a story. Let me read the story. The story is about a young girl who saw the need for education and stood up for it but was shot. She discovered that the girl child education in their area was neglected. She was known as Malala. She left the girl child. She felt the girl child was not really given the attention as far as education is concerned. They were reduced and underestimated. But Malala wanted to go to school. She wanted to be a doctor. So she stood up to fight for the girl child right. Malala was a very young. Okay, so let me continue with what I was reading. So Malala wanted to go to school. She wanted to be a doctor, so she stood up to fight for the girl child right. Malala was a very young and beautiful girl who got extraordinary courage to break the shackles of patriarchy and then put up her voice for girls' education in Swat, Pakistan. Remember, guys, this thing happened in Pakistan. All of these things happened in Pakistan. Okay, for the girls' child education in Swat, Pakistan. She was a brave girl in Swat, Pakistan. Swat Valley, the land of waterfalls. Okay, let me continue. It's something that actually happened, and if you go even on YouTube and you check this story, just type Malala, the girl who fought for female education and was shot by the Taliban, you are going to see the story about Malala. Okay, so let me continue reading. I'm using my laptop, so please just be patient so I can scroll down to where I stopped. Okay. The Taliban caused schools for female children to be closed. Remember what I said about the Taliban? The Taliban, who the Taliban are? It's a group of brutal young men that in Pakistan. So they closed down all the school, they shut down all the school and left only the school meant for the male children. Okay, so they didn't want the female children to go to school. So those are the Taliban, those are the group of persons I call Taliban. Okay, so the Taliban caused schools for female children to be closed, while that of male children were still open for the boys to continue with their education. There was only one school for female children left, with few girls, and that was the time Malala wrote a speech to the principal and to the government. She had nothing to fight with. Her only weapon was her voice and blocks. She cried out in her speech saying, "Why is the peace of this country destroyed? Why is the girl education in this country destroyed?" Yes, it was that bad that Malala had to cry out for her voice to be heard. She said the peace of the valley is destroyed. The peace of the innocent people attacked. That was because if you make any attempt, guys, to send your girl child to school, you will be killed. She continued in her speech saying, the school is now a place of violence and death instead of a place of learning. That the idyllic, which was a valley of peace, is burning. She said in her speech that their lives have been destroyed. She said their lives must be restored, that peace must come back to their land. Is concerned. Everyone was leaving Swat to another place. Everyone was leaving Swat to another place to continue. Oh my God. Not again. You are not going to embarrass me because I'm not taking this from you. This Cameroon network, I hope you not embarrass me. Continue. So everyone in Swat, Pakistan was actually leaving the Pakistan to another place to continue with their education. Now you still see me. With their education. But Malala's father refused to leave, saying he has gone through a lot in this country, that he cannot leave it, especially as Swat is in trouble. But staying back in Swat was not good for Malala because it would destroy her dreams. Malala's father believed so much in Malala, saying her daughter can create a better place for the society. Now, Malala's father wanted her to become a politician, but Malala said she wants to become a doctor. But the situation of the country did not make things any easier for her. Malala made her bedroom as classroom, and she said, "They cannot stop me." She said she would get her education either at home, at school, or any place. When the Taliban saw that they couldn't stop Malala plans, they waged a war, and all the people of Swat had to run for their lives. It was not easy for Malala's father to convince her for them to leave Swat to another place. But eventually, they left Swat. The war continued back in Swat as the government fought to send away the Taliban or kill them, because the Taliban were actually the ones who started the troubles and the war. Due to the war and no hope, Malala made up her mind to become a politician. Remember, Malala wanted to be a doctor. But now, due to the war and everything happening around and how she could not she could not have the opportunity to continue with her education and be a doctor as she wanted, she now decided to become a politician in order to go back to their country and fight the Taliban. Okay guys, let me continue. So she made up her mind to become a politician in order to go back to her country and fight for her country. And after 3 months, there was good news that some of the Taliban were killed and the people of Swat can return back to Swat. Everyone was happy. Malala's family was finally reunited. So at that time, Malala, her father, with other grassroots activists were invited to meet Richard Holbrooke, President Obama's staff official in the region. They had a meeting, asked of Malala's age, and she said she was 12 years old at that time. And they asked of her request, and these were Malala's words when the President Obama's staff official asked what she really wanted them to do for her. So this is what she said: I will request you all, respected ambassador. Okay guys, so sorry. Okay, so she said she will request Mr. Richards to help them with female education in their country. And Mr. Richards said they have pledged over $1 billion and they are working with the government to make a place for education for the girls. But the issue is the war. The war has destroyed a lot in Swat. Okay, President Obama's staff official said they are ready to help with this. They are ready to help the female education in Swat, Pakistan. But the issue is that this war that the Taliban has caused, fighting and not wanting the female education, has actually caused a lot, that it has destroyed a lot in Swat. Okay. But they promise to do their best. The government continue looking for the rest of the Taliban to eliminate them and free Swat from them. After 6 months, Malala's school was reopened and all the girls of Swat went to school in secret. And after the recovering of the school, Malala went and made a public speech saying, this is what Malala said after they recovered the school and the female children were actually schooling in secret. And now she made a speech, and this is what she said: one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Malala refused to be silent, and she fought for her right to an education.
Hey guys, this is not where it ends. We are going to be bringing the part 2 of what finally happens to Malala. So this is just part 1. Subscribe and wait for part 2. Thank you.